Well, somewhere along the line, I figured out that we are very privileged people, and that our responsibility, not unlike when Miles and Elvin Jones did for me, in me being in their groups, except that was a more hands-on situation. You learn by osmosis and by observation. They didn't talk very much about music, that generation. But in that manner, it's your job to impart the knowledge, what we're talking about, the creative process as it relates to the music, everything you know, except even how to play a chord, a certain voicing. It's kind of our responsibility to spread that and to bring up people who will do that. So jazz education has boomed in the last 20 or 30 years, worldwide. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's a way, of course, of offsetting your income, making a living, because, you know, we need that in this music. It's not popular music, public-wise. And the responsibility to show them what you got from playing with Miles Davis and Elvin Jones, that you're passing on through your music and what you're doing, my music. So that became something very important. And then I witnessed some people who did it amazingly, like Jamie Aebersold, David Baker, Jerry Coca. I mean, I went to these workshops in the late 70s, I began doing them. And these guys taught the music like teaching somebody how to drive a car. I mean, it was unbelievable. This is something that supposedly couldn't be taught. And here's guys really could teach. I always use this as a joke, but those guys could teach a fly on the wall to sing the blues in 1 hour. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but my point should be well taken, that these were masters of teaching, and teaching how to take the tools and do something with it. Creativity is another story, but just to speak the language, to learn French so that you can converse if you want to go to France. So that was the impetus to do it. Well, I had 23 years with the former group, and I decided a couple of years ago, I'll be 70 in a couple of weeks. I decided a few years ago that it's not to be morbid, but I have one more band in me. Because I have bands, in my 50 years I've only had 4 bands. I mean, I keep them together a long time, as best I can, business-wise and so forth. And I had figured that, you know, I have one more group with me, and I did want to get with the younger musicians. The language of jazz changes every 10 to 15 years. We can almost sit and detail it. And we definitely have a big change in the last 10 to 15 to 20 years, especially in the rhythmic realm. Too technical for this discussion, but take it for what I'm saying. These musicians play differently, like Charlie Parker played differently than Louis Armstrong. And Coltrane played different from Charlie Parker. I mean, the same song even is treated with a completely different attitude. And I wanted to be, I didn't want to be left out of the party, so to say, which is going on. So that is what led me to the younger musicians. And as I said, Bobby was from the area and I was following him. And the reed player, Matt Vashlishin, also same story, from the area in the Pocono Mountains. The drummer was a new find, recommended to me by 2 of my former drummers, or actually still Billy Hart, who I work with, and Jamie Haddad. They both independently said, there's a guy we teach at Oberlin who would be good for you. And that's how Alex got in the band. And my bassist has been with me for 27 years, Tony Marino. And I call it expansions because it was an expansions on my part to be able to try to play what they play, because they play different and sometimes it's not so easy. And expansions on their part to be with a mature musician who has a long career in the music. So it's a two-way street. This is saxophonist Dave Liebman, and if you're interested in more videos, please go to Jazz Times to see them and hear them. Thank you.